We found a flight path that leads to the southern Indian Ocean.
Correct.
The Malaysians knew early in the search that this disturbing evidence existed, but they've chosen to deny all and to exonerate their captain in their interim factual reports. Australia's theory, based on satellite data, is that MH370 was unpiloted at the end. But one of the world's most experienced air crash investigators disagrees. He says that MH370 was brought down by a rogue pilot.
But if you had the engines out, how do you get the flaps down?
Larry Vance knows well what happens to an aircraft when it hits water at high speed. He led the Canadian investigation into the Swissair 111 jet crash into the Atlantic Ocean off Nova Scotia in 1998.
An airplane that goes out of control at 30,000 feet will hit the water with tremendous impact.
And this is what you saw in the Swissair.
Oh, we saw it in Swissair. We see it in other accidents. It's exploded. In Swissair, we had 2 million pieces. This airplane would have had 2 million pieces.
Begs the question, where then is all that debris that Larry Vance says should have resulted from that kind of high-speed impact? A year ago, this flaperon from MH370 was found on the shores of a French island off the coast of Madagascar. When the jet is flying, the flaperon sits retracted into the wing. But on landing, the flaperon extends out with the flaps.
What position was the flaperon in, you believe, when this aircraft went into the ocean?
I think that this flaperon shows definite evidence that it was extended. You cannot get the flaperon to extend any other way than if somebody extends it. Somebody would have to select it.
Is that at the end of that 7-hour lonely flight into the depths of the Indian Ocean, someone activated the flaperon?
Absolutely.
And the most likely reason for that, says Larry, is a controlled ditching, which explains why there was no floating debris from the massive aircraft. A slow landing, leaving the fuselage mostly intact.
I mean, if a flaperon can make its way to Madagascar, then a life jacket or a seat cushion can make its way to somewhere. We don't see any of that. There's nothing from inside the airplane.
Every expert on ocean currents says floating debris, especially life jackets and seat cushions, should have washed ashore by now.
That we don't see debris from inside the airplane washing up in different places around the ocean is because that debris remained in the fuselage and the fuselage went to the bottom.
But our investigation reveals that the only possible scenario on the evidence is that a skilled pilot did deliberately land the 777 on the water.